I want to turn now to the hacking story, the other big breaking story today. New evidence that may fly in the face of President-elect Trump's ongoing effort to cast doubt on Russian involvement in it. He says he knows things that others don't and will reveal them perhaps as soon as tomorrow. Today, though, U.S. intelligence officials did some revealing themselves, saying they've now got another big clue that points to the Kremlin. CNN Justice correspondent Pamela Brown working the story joins us now. What is this clue, Pamela, that you're learning about?
Well, these are newly identified digital footprints that is bolstering the view in the U.S. intelligence community that Moscow is the culprit. According to U.S. intelligence officials we've been speaking with, analysts were able to trace the election hack to specific keyboards with Cyrillic text, an alphabet used by the Russians, and they believe these keyboards were used to make the malware code used in the hacks. This is just one piece in the puzzle, though, leading the U.S. intelligence community to believe that Russia is the culprit. As one official said, the intelligence in Russia is so high value, high quality. That is part of why they are so confident Russia is to blame compared to other cyber hacks we've seen involving more secretive regimes like North Korea. Anderson?
So how were investigators actually able to trace the keyboards allegedly used in the hacks?
Well, they were able to do analysis of the metadata in certain documents, and they were able to, through this analysis, look at the source code and determine that these were keyboards with the Cyrillic text. But as one official cautioned, these same keyboards could be bought online or could be used by other Eastern European hackers not in Russia. So as I say, this is just one piece of the puzzle, one piece of circumstantial evidence. Still, Anderson, there is a high level of confidence, as we know, and a consensus in the U.S. intelligence community that Russia is to blame, and now we are just awaiting for that comprehensive review that President Obama ordered about the hacks.
And President-elect Trump says that he, quote, knows things about who's behind the hacking, saying that we can't be sure it actually is the Russians. Could it be someone else? I mean, as you said, these, computer keyboards could have been bought by anybody.
Well, but that was one piece of evidence out of lots of evidence and digital footprints that intelligence analysts were able to gather through the course of this investigation. Now, cyber hacks are rarely a slam dunk definitive in terms of attribution, determining who it is. But as I pointed out, the intelligence is high quality when it comes to Russia. And so that is why you're seeing this consensus and why the FBI and DHS came out last week, Anderson, pointing the finger at Russia and laying out why it believes that. It's unclear exactly what President-elect Trump was talking about. Of course, he does know more than most of us because he has received some classified intelligence briefings. He also pointed out that he's skeptical because of the failed intelligence leading up to the Iraq War. What will be interesting to see, though, is whether his conclusion or his view changes once he receives the specific intelligence briefing on the Russian hack that he's supposed to be given by leaders in the intelligence community around the time that comprehensive review is completed. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Anderson?
All right, Pam Brown. Pam, thanks. And again, President-elect Trump said he has got evidence of his own. Details to come shortly. I had a chance to ask Trump transition senior advisor Keyyanne Conway about all of that and tonight's breaking news. We spoke just before airtime. Keyyanne, over the weekend, President-elect Trump said that the hacking, quote, could be someone else. Who do you think he thinks it could be? Because CNN is reporting tonight that U.S. intelligence officials have identified digital fingerprints, is what they're calling it, which point directly to the Russian government.
Well, the president-elect receives intelligence briefings that you and I are not privy to, Anderson. Additionally, he just is noting that there are unnamed sources, people talking to the press instead of attending House Intelligence Committee briefings where they've been invited. And but the president-elect has agreed to receive an intelligence briefing here at the Trump Tower this week. And we expect that the top intelligence officials in our country, Anderson, will be here to provide that briefing. At the same time, I mean, we're all just wondering why, when President Obama earlier in this year said to Vladimir Putin, quote, knock it off, he didn't come out more strongly. Did he think Hillary Clinton would win the election? And so knock it off, which is what I tell my dogs when they're fighting over a bone, would be sufficient. I mean, why not? Was that a diplomatic response or was it a political response now? And so we do have questions, but he will receive this briefing. Things are not completely clear to us here. And then he will speak accordingly. He's got 8 years probably to be president. President Obama has 18 days left. And this expulsion of the Russian operatives last week seems sort of curious because there just didn't seem to be such a strong response earlier in the election cycle to these allegations.
So when Trump says he, quote, knows things that other people don't know, is he referring to things he's learned in briefings or things he just knows prior to even becoming president-elect?
Well, every president of the United States, and in this case, imminent president of the United States, Donald Trump, ought to know many things that the rest of us do not know. And that is to what he is referring. That will include the briefing that he'll receive this week at Trump Tower from our top intelligence officials.
Do you expect that Tuesday or Wednesday?
Know, yes, it looks that way right now, Anderson. And what we do know, or what I can say, is that we don't believe that intelligence efforts should interfere into politics, certainly, but we also don't believe that politics should interfere with our intelligence. And I can't help but think that many people who are still talking about this are disappointed, if not embarrassed, by the content of those hacked emails at the DNC. The Hillary team, her senior team, was pretty disparaging of her and her lack of judgment. She can't find her voice. 84 different slogans being tested. We had one.
But even people who weren't supporting Hillary Clinton would understandably be concerned about, you know, any foreign entity hacking into anybody's emails here, whether it was the Sony hacks, would believe to have been done by North Korea. I mean, it's not necessarily all political.
Well, Anderson, what you just described, we share your view. In other words, of course we are concerned about a foreign government hacking into our information. But you and I are agreeing on a principle. We're not agreeing on an actual set of facts. I would tell you another set of facts that we all know that didn't seem to get much more than a shrug and a slap on the wrist from President Obama at the time, and that was the 2015 hack of 1 million former, I guess, and current government employees at the Office of Personnel Management. We know that that information was hacked. There was no public punishment of the magnitude that we experienced as a nation last week with these Russian operatives, and people are left wondering, why is that different?
I saw one Democrat on, I think, an intelligence committee, I think it was Schiff, saying, and I don't want to misquote him, but saying that the difference between, though, is that China hadn't actually weaponized those. In his opinion, Russia had weaponized the hacks in order to, and used them against, in that case, the DNC. I'm not saying
that to me
true.
is a very poor
that's
excuse.
I'm
sorry, Anderson. Yeah, I mean, look, that's a very poor excuse and really very creative Monday morning quarterbacking after the fact. So it doesn't matter to us as a government, doesn't matter to Congressman Schiff or to President Obama or to the rest of us that 1 million people who did nothing wrong other than they had their personnel information in the government files. It's okay that we know things about them personally. Now, that's never okay. And we as a nation should be outraged about that. But there was no public punishment. And we can't help but think that the difference here, too, is that Hillary Clinton lost an election and somehow they think they had the wrong messenger, or there was hacking, or Jim Comey's fault and whatnot. I mean, it basically was the wrong message, not just the wrong messenger.
I want to read something that President-elect Trump tweeted tonight. He tweeted, North Korea just stated that it is in the final stages of developing a nuclear weapon capable of reaching parts of the U.S. It won't happen. How exactly does he plan on stopping their nuclear program, and what steps will he take that other presidents haven't?
Well, I'll tell you what he won't do. He won't do what we've done with Iran, for example. Emboldening Iran with this increased nuclear capability that even prominent Democratic senators like Bob Menendez of New Jersey, Chuck Schumer here in New York opposed. That is not something you do, because with the nuclear capability also comes, well, he will meet, again, he'll meet with his national security team and see what can be done. But he's not going to sit idly by while North Korea is 1 year away from having this missile that could reach Seattle. We all read and we're told, Anderson. You can't
because
just sit
right now
and look
the policy, in order to try to stop this, has always been get China, get a number of state actors in to put pressure, to put sanctions, and try to stop them.
Sanctions and pressure, that's right. Well, it'd be nice if China did more on a number of fronts, and I think that President-elect Trump has been very clear about his intention there. But look, again, sanctions, he'll discuss it with his security team, but is that actually a deterrent to North Korea? It's not. We don't know yet. Are the Russian sanctions from last week a deterrent to them? Obviously, Vladimir Putin has said that he won't retaliate. He'll wait. He'll delay those sanctions.
We'll have more of that interview with Keyyanne Conway in the next hour, 360. Just ahead, though, tonight is the president-elect putting himself in a hard-to-defend position on the hacking and what to make of his claim suggesting he has inside information. I'll talk to the panel about that. And later, what happened to that smooth transition from President Obama's jabs to the president-elect's tweets, and plenty of strain behind the scenes as well. We'll take you inside on all of it tonight on 360.
Final.